Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Okay, so today is a video. This band came out about 10, 15 years ago, give or take. I'm going to throw the... do you know, I don't even know why I say this, because you know I'm always wrong. It probably came out last month, for all I know.
It came out 10 months ago. That's
yeah, I just basically come up with any figure that comes off my head whenever I come up with it. This band came out last week and has I don't know.
They're called Metallica. They came out last year.
Brand new band. They're apparently a pop thrash. No, I don't know. Well, let's go check out today's video. I'll see what you guys think at the end. I'm sure you will at least recognize one person from this band anyway. Let's go check out today's video. Okay. Any idea on the band name?
Well, I know Rex from Pantera and Down is in the band. I spotted that straight away. I can't remember what band it will be, though, if Rex is in it.
There's not Steve Jorio, then.
No.
I didn't think it was.
Didn't he?
When David said you recognise one member of the band, I was looking around trying to see who I spotted. I thought it was Rob Flynn at first. I thought, no, it's not him. I thought Steve DiGiorio, no, it's not him. Is it the drummer? Is that the guy who used to play in Dio?
I don't actually know, but the person that would have been Rex Brown from Pantera.
Okay, right.
So that's the most obvious person. So this was his band when Pantera split, and the the Abbott brothers went off and did what they went off and did.
Damage Plan.
Damage Plan. He went off and did this band because this is called Kill Devil Hill, and the song was called Strange. And yeah, this was the debut album from that particular band. I'll kind of wrap this one up, but I'm going to let you guys kind of take the lead on what your thoughts and feelings on this one. So, Andy, do you want to take the lead on this one?
It'll be very brief. I've not a lot to say about it. To be honest, very quite bland and uninspiring. To be honest, the best thing for me was the singer's microphone stand. That was pretty cool. I mean, again, I'm going by what you said about at the beginning. You recognise something. I thought it perhaps was some sort of rock super group put together, and I was sort of trying to spot the members more than anything else.
Right.
I'm good. We'll have to have a look into it. I'm sure. Is it Vinny Appice from DA?
I was thinking that.
Whether it is or not, he looks very much like he looks like he's got a few years on the rest of the guys, but nothing really to say about that. I'm not even quite sure how you categorise it. Really, sort of bluesy rock, sort of southern. Well, if it's the guy from Pantera, you got that influence there, I guess. But
yeah,
I'll move on to Kirk. I've got really nothing to say about that. It's very, very ordinary. Nothing to go back to, I don't think.
Yeah, agreed. Nothing special there. It's yeah. Do you know that's probably the only subgenre of metal hard rock that still plays the pentatonic blues that I can listen to. That New Orleans or Southern inspired music, which of course Pantera are famous for. But Pantera always had an element, certainly from Cowboys from Hell onwards, of thrash metal and pioneered groove metal. And I would have been disappointed if Pantera had continued from Reinventing the Steel and went in a direction like that. It's so predictable. The great vocals, faultless musicianship. You've got the swagger, you've got the attitude. It just doesn't do much for you, does it? I think it's because I've heard that a million times before. And at the moment, in 2022, I know this might have been 10 years ago, but even 10 years ago, when you're hearing pentatonic blues riffs in a metal song, it's almost like being in 1993 and hearing a sleaze hair metal band playing rock and roll like that Poison song on Skinny Bop. It just sounds so dated and out of place. I wouldn't say this sounds dated, and it is the only variant of the blues that I can tolerate in metal these days, because metal's just moved on to jazz, hasn't it, and more experimental foundations now. And you could even argue that Judas Priest stripped the blues out of metal in the mid-70s, and Iron Maiden certainly did as well. So I wouldn't go out and buy that album. If we were to use our metric, where we have 4 choices, I think that probably would be, I'd be trading that in for something else. I'd say, hey, check this out. It's Rex Brown's band. Oh, that looks interesting. Now, yeah, go on. I'll take that Obituary album in your collection that I don't have. That's probably what I'd do with it.
Fair enough. So just to confirm, yeah, it was Vinny Appice is the drummer in that particular lineup. So yeah, you were right on the money there. So I was right on the year. So it came out in 2012. So 10 years ago, this album came out. So I'm kind of happy I actually got something right for once. Yeah, so the reason I picked this one, it is an album I did get. It was also an album that I was disappointed with because I was expecting more from it. What I find really interesting is you've got the vocalist looks like what Phil Anselmo looked like at the time, but it does a weaker impression of his vocals in a way. He doesn't. It feels like he's got the power and the range to come through, but every time he feels like it's about to come through, it's just like he takes his foot off the accelerator again, and you're like, oh, I was almost there. It was like, yeah, you turn it up, no, you just turned it back down again. What's going on there? So he never quite comes through to the front like I thought he was. The solo, the fact that he was doing some little dive bombs on there and doing the pitch shifting, I was like, you're doing kind of that's what Dimebag used to do. So why bring that in? If you want to avoid the comparisons to Pantera, being the bassist from Pantera, don't have a singer that looks like Phil Anselmo and don't do solos that sound like Dimebag, because you know that people are going to compare you to it. And if that's the case, you've got Full Fat Coke is Pantera. Would I put these as Diet Coke? No, I'd put them as that Tab Zero stuff.
What a strange analogy, but it makes sense.
But it is. It's watered down. It's like
cola.
It's that cheap cola. It's got the stuff that you kind of know what it's meant to taste like, but it never gets quite where it needs to. It just felt, it's got a nice groove to it, but that was the only thing that kept my attention. Was I liked the groove, but the drums never kicked in as hard as what you would hear with Vinny. The bass was relatively boring. The vocals at points sounded great, but then a lot of the time they just felt a little bit wishy-washy and washed out. Like almost like when it was going, it's like he doesn't even want to be there singing. At points, it just felt like he phoned it in when it came to the recording session. So yeah, I mean, I picked it because I thought it was an interesting one for us to go check out, because obviously it was Rex Brown's band after Pantera. It's interesting on the description of the band. It's been described as heavy and modern without succumbing to the typical contemporary hardcore trappings of indecipherable vocals and overused blast beats. I think that's being generous. It's kind of bluesy rock to me. It doesn't really do much more than that. But
and isn't that one way of them saying, "Oh, we don't like the modern stuff from the younger people. It's just noise." It's like, come on, you want to be taken seriously? You've still got to pay attention to that. Don't just fucking write it off because it wouldn't get on the radio.
To me, it's like they're a country rock band that are playing in your bar in Tennessee somewhere, that are going to just rock out to 20, 30 people live in a bar having their chicken and chip dinner. That's kind of what I'd expect to hear. But to have the people that are in this band, I would expect more from them.
Yeah.
But he did have his microphone plugged in, so we'll give him a pass for that, for his video. But yeah, there we go. That was Kill Devil Hill, and the song was Strange. Now, if you like the video, please do subscribe, click the bell icon, like and share, and we'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.